Hello, YouTube. So it's Kendra. I am back with a couple tips from working at home with kids. So this kind of looks a little different depending on your kid's age and how many children you have. Um, my kids are 9 and 13. They're pretty self-sufficient. I don't have a whole lot that they really need me for. My goal here is to make sure they are getting some sort of an education still for these next couple weeks, and that we are spending good quality time together as much as we possibly can and balancing the work I need to get done. Um, I have not worked from home in quite a few years. I have a beautiful office that I get to go to every day, but in this weird interim time, I am choosing to stay home and make our circle smaller. So I want to share some tips that I'm going to be following myself that might be able to help you facilitate a more productive workday while working from home unexpectedly. So I would definitely set up a schedule and try and make the kids aware of that so they're used to schedules. And I think coming home and being home uh, without a schedule is maybe possibly not going to be the best situation for them. They're going to be looking for that structure, and I think if you can provide that right off the bat. Today's Monday. I believe I'm going to put this video out on Tuesday, but set that structure for them. Provide that guidance for okay. These are the times that I'm going to allow you to play video games or talk to your friends or whatever it may be. These are then the times that we are going to do something educational together or separately, but set them up with a project, something that's going to keep them occupied, that they're going to find fun. I know a lot of teachers are giving assignments online, so maybe that's a block of time you set out during the day, but make sure that you communicate with them and you let them know, hey guys, here's what these days are going to look like. And because if you are trying to work from home and the kids are bored and they don't know what to do and they don't know what to expect, it's going to be a tough situation. So schedule, I think that's probably top number one most important tip is communicate a schedule to the entire family. This is how this is going to work. This is how we're going to get through this. And definitely try and include some fun things in there. It doesn't just have to be school part two. It can be like we're okay. Now we're gonna go outside and look for the I don't know. We're in New York and the season's changing. So maybe we're gonna go do a bit of gardening or see what's blooming or learn something about nature. Walk down to the beach or whatever you happen to live near. I mean, we are lucky that we live near a lake. We live near the woods. We can go hiking. So, maybe that's something that you schedule during the week too, that outside good fresh air time. Um, so schedule. Okay. And then I would wake up before your kids do. So I think it's really important to know what your day looks like aside from the schedule you set yourself. You're going to be getting emails expected to be functioning at home as you would at the office. So checking your emails in the morning, check your emails at night, several times during the day, keeping a running list of what's expected of you, projects that you have to stay up on top of, communications that you need to create, or people you need to get back to. Um, I would try and be as strict as you possibly can with when you take phone calls. So this way you don't feel like you're in a tailspin of chaos and that you're on call 24/7. Because the thing with working from home is, and I don't know how this is going to play out because this is kind of a special situation, but you could potentially be on call 24/7. So I think setting those boundaries with your job if possible, and or at least have a conversation with, okay, this is my normal job is 9 to 5 and I get an hour lunch break and whatever, but now that I'm home with the kids and the kids are home, like this is what I can do. Is that okay? Try and talk to your employer to make sure that everyone's on the same page with what's expected and how this works best for everybody. But we're definitely waking up early helps. For me, I like to have my same routine I would if I were getting up and going to my office. I wake up before the kids. I look at my schedule. I list out my priorities for the day. I set an intention statement. I might do a meditation, I might do a workout. Whatever your normal schedule would be, I definitely make coffee. Um, I would still try and stick to that as much as you can. And obviously, your going to work is in your home. So, if you have a space that you can kind of dedicate to a home office, I say go for that. That's awesome. I am in the middle of my living room currently. We always have had a desk here. I've never really used it. I am a person that doesn't like to be stuck in a box, so I don't want to be in a room with a door closed away from my family. They are out with my parents right now at the beach, looking at the seals. So I have a couple hours to myself, and that's why it's nice and quiet here. Um, but I would rather work around them. And like I said, my kids are 9 and 13. So, a simple request of, hey guys, can you just keep it down, or whatever the activities they're involved in, I can pretty easily be around them without feeling like I'm stuck in a hole and completely unaware of what's going on in the house. Um, so whatever that looks like for you, whether you're more comfortable in a room with a desk and you're set up like you would be at work, or if you are a little more organic and want to be, let's say, in the kitchen or something, but set a workspace so that you have a place to feel comfortable, that you can put your papers, that you can put your coffee, that you can kind of set up. And maybe, I mean, it would be harder if it's the kitchen table or something like that, but at least a place that for the next couple weeks, you can kind of claim. So definitely do that. And then, set the kids up with some projects. Like if you're looking at your day, okay, well, if we're going to take a 2 hour break and do something together, what does that look like? There's so many resources online right now, more than I've ever seen before. Free things, 360 virtual tours of different museums. Um, there's a lot of other paid resources you can look at. There's science experiments. There's all sorts of things that you could do together as a family. My kids and I are fairly creative, so both my kids play an instrument. I play an instrument, so that's kind of a fun thing for us to just take a break and do together. We love to draw. We love to paint. It's not something we do often because it's messy, so that might be something that we do this week. I could order some canvases on Amazon and get some oil paints because they've never played with those before, and I think that might be a fun activity to do. Um, so yeah, set them up with some stuff, some things that you can do together, and then also things that they can do on their own. And I think talking to them about what they would like to accomplish, if there are things that they would like to have done. I mean, I know my daughter, she really wanted to create a space in her room for a reading nook. My son wants to redo his room completely, and we are going to be ripping out his carpets. But he's turning 13, and his baby blue walls are really not a pizzazzy anymore. Um, so that's something that he's kind of putting together. This is what my dream room looks like, and he's spending time doing that. He's also got a project of a YouTube channel that he would like to launch this summer. And so I've set up some pretty strict guidelines for him to have to fulfill to be able to do that before I'll let him go live and do that. So he's working on that project. He's also a Boy Scout, so there's some other Boy Scout requirements that he can continue to move down that road and look at how he's going to get some of these merit badges done. So yeah, there's things that they can work on, and the other thing is just cleaning around the house and organizing more. I feel like it's a blessing in disguise to be home and have this time. So those closets that I've been meaning to get to for 2-3 years, or just going through old things that we need to purge because they've gotten so much older, or my husband and I don't use that anymore, whatever it is, just being able to do these things together, and have that time. And I think just keeping your mindset that this is going to be challenging, but how can we look at this like a blessing, and where can we reap the benefits of spending more time with our family at home? Is there more education that you can get for your job, and maybe that's something to talk to your boss about. If there's productivity issues with being able to work from home, what can you do to further your career, whether it be through your job or maybe you're thinking about another career move. How can you leverage this time to facilitate those goals? So, all right, guys. Well, I hope this helps. Working at home with kids is tough. Oh, and especially babies. I didn't even mention that. That is sort of a survival mode type of thing. I did it with my infant. I mean, you just sort of do what you have to do. I was taking conference calls with her breastfeeding, and camera from here up, and nobody ever knew. But you just kind of do what you have to do. I was working in the middle of the night when I would finally get her down to sleep, and I had moved my computer into my bedroom. I was a single mother at the time. Um, Anywhere you can get those little bits of time in to be able to get your job done, that's kind of what you got to do. Lots of coffee and stay healthy and keep your energy up. But those little ones, they're going to be much, much more demanding of your time. So the best idea for that is, there are going to be days where you have to throw your hands up and say, well, this is just not going to work out today. They just need me, and that's fine. And I'm going to be here for them. And to offset that, maybe that's waking up super early or going to bed super late. But yeah, kind of survival mode with those little munchkins. Tons of projects. Maybe switch out toys with some of your neighbors. Watch them really good, but do a toy exchange so the kids don't get bored. But there's all sorts of things you can keep the little ones occupied, and just kind of throttle down what the work you have to do is while they're awake, especially taking calls and things like that. So, those are my tips. I hope they help. Good luck, guys. I'll see you soon.